that looks like a really good like regular season third line. I just don't know if that's going to be a difference maker in the playoffs.
When that deal, I think I can say, eventually comes, is this something that the Oilers are going to be able to get like clean out of, or are they going to have to take another team's problem in the deal?
It's a great question. Do they have to attach something to it to get what they want? Is another one. I don't know. Like it's one of those interesting situations where you're trying to get out obviously as clean as you possibly can. But given the nature of the player and the number and the desired return, you may have to either take a problem or add a little bit of a sweetener to it. I don't know. Like this is going to be like this is a test for Stan Bowman and the Oilers organization. I'll tell you where I would be looking right now. Columbus. I would be looking hard at Columbus with the thoughts of what can we do with the Columbus Blue Jackets to help us build a successful third line. I know we've talked, like it seems like every time that I come on here, we're talking about third line and how the Oilers are going to be able to do this thing without taking Ryan Nugent-Hopkins away from Connor McDavid. I wonder if there's a Boone Jenner / Charlie Coyle something they can do with the Blue Jackets that will help move things along to building that third line for the playoffs, which we all know is critical.
Yeah, especially when you have kind of the pieces that you do have, like Kapanen's back. He's looking good with Draisaitl for now. And that's something that during his time in Edmonton has kind of come and gone, but he's done the spot duty thing in the top six. And if you have Roslovics and Savoys and Howards, like it's very easy to envision the type of impact a Coyle or a Jenner could have being like a dependable third liner. Like the long issue even when they're going to the Cup final, it's still like, they get caved when Connor and Leon are off the ice. Solving that problem, I think, and I guess I'm jumping to another one of our questions, Liam, but like, what's the number one need for Stan Bowman to address in the next, 2 months ahead of the deadline? Find a way for this team to not get caved when Connor and Leon are off the ice.
Yeah. One thing, I just want to make one quick point here. Like, I always wonder about this as well. Like moments where players realize they're in a position to really ring the bell for themselves. And I thought about this the other day when Adam Enrique went down. It's like, okay, Jack Roslovic's going to the third line in the center hole here. Okay, so if you're Jack Roslovic right now, are you not thinking, I've got 40 games to make a lot of money, and it's all going to be about my play away from the puck? Like, this is like where like the whole camp sits down with Roslovic and says like, look, dude, 40 games, mind your knitting, and all the play away from the puck. We all know about like how offensively gifted Jack Roslovic is. It's if you can control and be successful with your game away from the puck, you have a chance to absolutely knit with your next contract. And you got 40 games to do it. Like this is like a huge moment it's a big moment for the Edmonton Oilers too, but this is a massive moment for Jack Roslovic. It's all that sort of game inside the game stuff that you look at. Like for a team like the Edmonton Oilers, right? So Edmonton, like there's only a few teams that you can learn stuff about this team. There's only a few games you can learn about this team. You learn about what, who they are based on what their record is against Vegas, against Dallas, against Colorado, against Minnesota. Other than that, not that they're empty calorie games because they still count. But like, as far as like when you get to the level that the Oilers are at, how many games a year can you really learn something about the team? 20? Right? Yeah. Like how many times have you guys sat here and been like, you know what? Yeah, they won, but did we really learn anything about the team? But then you got to start looking at the record and the competition between some of those other elite teams and go like, it's an 82 game season, but there's only 20 games we can learn things about this team. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think last game we learned a little bit about him, and it's that guys like Mangiapane, Frederick, Henrique, like aren't fitting the style of play that the Oilers want to play with. Like obviously Henrique, I keep saying Frederick. Henrique left the game and they formed a third line that was Roslovic, Savoy, and Howard. And it was awesome. It played with a ton of pace and brought some offense. Gave him more
a fourth
life.
line too with Lazar, who's okay, what's he do? Well, they just work their bags off. Like I love the point you're making.
Yeah, but my question is, and someone put it in the chat, and I think it's been something that's brought up, and I don't agree with this, but do you sense there's any disconnect between the players Stan Bowman is getting and the way Knoblauch is executing them?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, I really love the way that Jay Woodcroft used to try to confuse coaches, right? Like Woodcroft, I mean, how many different times did you see Connor McDavid in a game where all of his line mates changed? And it would just confuse the hell out of the other coach. Like he was always like Woodcroft. I'm a big fan, obviously. He would always be in a position to try to upset the other team. Knoblauch's not like that. He's not that style of coach. And Liam, if I can throw in one thing, that third line, that looks like a really good like regular season third line. I just don't know if that's going to be a difference maker in the playoffs.
Agreed.
Right? Yeah. Like that's like a cool line. Like, hey, let's see what like Howard can do here. Let's see Matthew Savoy. This is awesome. This is all fun. I don't think anyone's looking at that and saying they're going to do for the Oilers on the third line what Salson did in 2007 with the Anaheim Ducks, or what Lister-Rainen's line did for the Florida Panthers, or what Yanni Gourde's line did with Tampa Bay Lightning, etc. That's why I think like the one thing that you're looking at with this third line is, and again I keep coming back to it, that's your difference maker, right? That's your difference maker. And the other thing too is, when it comes to players like, and I'll focus in on Isaac Howard in the first place here, someone like Ike Howard, they're either players for you right now or they're players to help you get the players that you need. And right now, this is like Connor McDavid like opened up a very specific window, as you guys all know, for the Edmonton Oilers. And if you want the team to get younger, that's fine. But that's going to involve a little bit of babysitting here. I don't know that Connor and Leon have the time or patience to really babysit a lot of young players to get to where they're going to go. So I think that, Stan Bowman's going to probably have to trade to get to where they need to go. So that's why I sort of come short of, are they getting the right players for Chris Knoblauch and the way that he wants to play?
I think one thing I've always found intriguing that happened last season, where you talk about like Savoy and Howard in this example aren't going to help the Oilers as much in the playoffs as we would all like them to. I look at what Florida did last season with Mackie Samoskevich, where he played 72 games in the regular season, scored 15 goals, 31 points, solid season, played 4 games in the playoffs. They went out and got Brad Marchand, and their third line got way better. And now they have Samoskevich, and he's good for them. And he's gone through it with them. I think that's the approach that Oilers fans should probably expect, right, as we continue the third line conversation.
Sure. And I don't think that you're like specifically saying that like where Isaac Howard is right now is where Mackie Samoskevich was last year, because Mackie Samoskevich, as far as like playmaking, is still, or was still, sort of light years ahead of Isaac Howard. Like bluntly, he still needs to learn how to play, make, and pass at this level. And like around the net, like there's no denying Isaac Howard. Ike Howard is a really, really talented player. But as far as making plays, passing the puck, playing with that pace and being able to make plays, he's not there yet. He still, to me, looks like someone that needs more time in the American Hockey League. But Liam, your theory's right. Your theory is 100% right. Like sometimes you just do things in regular season for an investment for next season, knowing that, okay, this person's going to be in a holder position this season until we bring in, I just use for example, because I mentioned Columbus, Charlie Coyle or Boone Jenner. And then next season, you see the dividends start to pay off.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered, from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.